Manever I say ma Pen Dream TV. Pen Dream TV there, o see them yopo.
Abusia, aye Afenyo Markins, ya we NPP minority leader ewo parliament. Na nsem bi odi asem bi kotu dwa kasafa NDC amanyukono kwan a afaso aya kono ya enti enne emaburu ni nyina agitwi elko join NDC amanyukono. Wo say sa asem okokaye no MPP for so ne kon chesenki mia na kunu but enne wasan your opportunity ewo GIG Unimark University wasan anya opportunity wo hono dia obesa aka asa aka biem because onim said the oka no eye no kore na ono NDC ana onim endra no enye NDC ni nie na NDC na ya akono de ama ne chese Oko universities ahodo nyina obi tilted towards NDC youth ni nyina tilted towards NDC chese wono mo mani abie nyina obi eko NDC wose kwan ya NDC fo afaso are brand omo ho ama NDC aya akono say on tiase na odiemu afutuo bi ede Emma NPP for the to the NDC no to NPP ho ne ho keka obusu amepese yeko na yekoje ensam no eba sede eye Afenyo Markins eka ne ensam no ewo Unimark University Jumadi omudi enum aha Pen Dream TV meso so be subscribe to the channel, like video yi na share to other platforms ma obusu nya bi hwe abusu o hwe ni nyina no wo adwenkyere bi afato comment section no asema ne enkotie nkomo no emra sesia.
Back in the days at Kivas, it was difficult for a student to associate himself with NDC. When we were at the university, if you want to contest for leadership on campus, and anybody there says you are an NDC, you will lose. No student wanted to hear NDC. So the NDC boys, they were hiding to do their meetings. They won't do their meetings in the open. But NPP TESCON took things for granted. And there was a time I was commending NDC for their transformation. It was misconstrued. Today, I won't let any fear grip me. I will face the reality and let people misconstrue it. But that is the reality. Our friends in the NDC decided not to give up. They went into rebranding of their party. They branded their party to make it attractive to students. I remember Casford Hall, my own cousin, was contesting for Casford Hall presidency. I was his campaign manager. Last minute he lost. And after the election, we were told that, there was some NDC pickup at Ogwao Hall area. And he was talking to the president. Somebody used as campaign propaganda. So that is what made the student vote against him. But today, 10 may even be popular than TESCO. Today, students are able to proudly say, I'm NDC because of the branding. So the NDC, MPP people listening, listen well and stop sleeping. When we won the first time in the year 2000, we were so happy. The NDC was devastated. They even feared to go to the radio stations. But within 2 years, they brought themselves together. To the extent that by 2004, they were able to reclaim some of the seats we snatched from them in 2000. By 2008, they had made themselves formidable to snatch power. Then we went back to prepare ourselves for 2016 after the disappointment in 2012, and we got back power, got the highest majority seats ever, 169. Again, we went to sleep. We thought it was all about free SHS. whereas our friends were breaking it into pieces and crashing the impact of free SHS. I'm sure all of you are free SHS products. Majority of you are. Yes. Of course, majority of you are free SHS products. That is true. Hello. Lend me your ears. We are having a good conversation. And when we had a 169, again we went to sleep, and our friends rebranded. In fact, some people even thought it was over for JM. He's lost by over 1 million. But in politics, branding, packaging is everything. So if you are aspiring to be a political strategist, take this from me. Branding, packaging is everything. So within 8 years, our friends could come and create a deficit of 2.1 million for us. And even our mighty 88, they have managed to snatch one to make it mighty 87. But all too soon, they have forgotten themselves. They have
Abusia Afenyo Markins ne nsɛm a ɔka ne fa NDC ho no ɛne yɛde abeto mu nim no. In fact, ɔto aso kasa yɛbɛbɔ ne nyinaa ɛde akyerɛ mu ama watie nsɛm a ɔka fa ho ne afutu a ɔde tu NDC amanyukuo no wɔ line a ɔma fa no baabi a yɛsi a ɔmo nam no de betumi ama ɔmatumi agyina ɔmo nan so ɛkɔ so a apem so amaka fence party no abɛyɛ krabɛhwɛ no ɛyɛ Afenyo Markins ɛde to hɔ nom. Na abusia ɛnɛ obi bɛbisa sɛ NDC amanyukuo no adenti na ne abeye akono sa me de bia meka me se NDC fo waseda bia omonfa enkoda eye owura Professor Evans Atamels ase omuwia omonfa aseda etan eto aso emfama John Dramani Mahama sankrofo mieni omonfa aseda emma omuyie papa because omo leadership NDC amanyukuo no no ena fiti saa brenum ema NDC amanyukuo no beye krabehwe sa mo be kai abusua eye NDC bra eye Professor Mills yedi NDC share nsa from 2000 ya obe lead party no 2004 obe lead ye ni nyina anko yi 2008 and year rebranding of the party and is a mo be kai a free 2004 honum eba 2008 elections no mbekaya otuto nsa de frɛ eye political activist be youth political activist be ani enim omo ana omo school mu ne ho ade saabre num agenim boaten koku anyidoho efensen Samuel okujeto ablakwam obi ti sex Samuel okujeto ablakwa se wunim na se a beka choso na oye NPP ni omane bo ama may so rest in peace so mubehu a mubet nanse kwa ye owura Kwesi Pratt Junior ekasa fa no kire mu kire se eye efene sen Kwesi omane bo ama no ye NPP ni solid oti ase na kwanya eye Professor Mills mo fa so etwen sankrofo bimben omo Felix Ofusu kwa chemo twen omo eba eye eyinim chese Professor Mills make sure say or the youth no ebeba NDC amanyu kuno chese e front first nanka entesa first no NDC amanyuku no na apabeni mpanyifo ya omunim de professors and na ye from ma sabi omubedi NDC anim but Professor Mills apen so and was started say odi emabunu no ebe chese mabunu abinimu awie school 1 year 2 years etwam ya no akofo mo de hia say we obi a intelligent a onim nyansa no afa no apeba bidu ahye no nature no akere de wo say we de ni kwasa wo ka what you say Professor John Dramani Mahama so by no one to sa idea no antwene ono so koso ara etoa so make sure say NDC ebenya emmabunu a ombeba be di party no. In fact ase edun ketia mo so ebie party no ma youth no enya chese leverage omo so be ye omo adwuma the youth front ye FN saying making sure say omo the party no fan ba bi be share ye FN saying Sami Jemfi Munsane, Malik Bak Sintelemo, Chese, Pablo Muni, Honkika, Chese, Omuma youth, no quite pretty ye, ewo a ye party num, Emma. Friends saying you winning elections so no can be free say you better I reject it and I say apamo you to now could see a chile na chess and penny for us I be take over. But on my penny John Dramani wa even though now our former ministers be at then from 2012 to 2016 on one kasa na appoint you omu ye adwuma and net 2024 win election no sa microphone mu do na make me akas be 80% one from or the frefre youth ya ibi and na or the omu hihye positions major positions like mabunu what you say ena ama NDC party no aye solid chese NDC na aya kono say wo hwe campaign na 2024 NDC for year ya you could see say omo the youth no na year omo FNC campaigns omo the youth no any deep FNC party na nimu oba bia the work ahodo ano omo ye nyina youth na no omo de omo ye work chese constituency bia almost every constituency aye work keep fit like keep fit first work nyina ba bia nyina youth no nti in fact ye school so ahodo mu nyina eno a abusua enti NDC amanyoko no ebe ya akona na efri and I hope say the next leader obeba after John Dramani Mahama will continue to expand that FNC reach to the younger ones more and more, especially the students. Just almost touch almost some more Emma and Mabuna almost also and ne Sebio Omohu and Yoma who do Monsieur Diaqua Nimini and what they are more Quima almost also and for Munim dear emblem and this here Tamale a year Nyame Emfa Yinya. Bema Mohammed Mutala, Honorable Mohammed Mutala, may he so rest in peace. The constituency ye call by election. Nipa Baku 13 and a contested for the seat in primaries, NDC primaries. Oko check here. As a professors me, doctors miensa. And contest here, contest here. It tells you the number of academia people or more chess or my margins or more chess and these are dom and now are getting on board. First Nanka and Tessa send Afenyo Markins but and then because of Afenyo or Mampini John Dramani Mahama a BMU editor what they ma you to no need students near one more Monsieur Diaco money the Professor Mills to home and no and the Traswaba. Abusha yanko ni yanko toaso enkuti enkomoni afutu semwa eye Afenyo Markins edema NDC amanyoku no warning bia wo de to ho ma omo a ewo so omo hwe no mu follow no mu make sure so omo mfom na yensan emra sisia.
Then we went back to prepare ourselves for 2016 after the disappointment in 2012 and we got back power, got the highest majority seats ever, 169. Again, we went to sleep. We thought it was all about free SHS. Whereas our friends were breaking it into pieces and crashing the impact of free SHS. I'm sure all of you are free SHS products. Majority of you are. Yes. Of course, majority of you are free SHS products. That is true. Hello. Lend me your ears. We are having a good conversation. And when we had a 169, again we went to sleep. And our friends rebranded, In fact, some people even thought it was over for JL. He's lost by over 1 million. But in politics, branding, packaging is everything.
Of course.
So if you are aspiring to be a political strategist, take this from me. Branding, packaging is everything. So within 8 years, our friends could come and create a deficit of 2.1 million for us. And even our mighty 88, they have managed to snatch one to make it mighty 87. But all too soon, they have forgotten themselves. They have started sliding and they don't see it. They have forgotten the jobs issue, the 24-hour economy, they seem to have forgotten. The Galamsey, they promised they are going to deal with it, they have forgotten. Central region, the water is not flowing, water's bodies polluted. The gold bond that was set up, beautiful idea, but I warned them in Parliament that it was going to promote Galamsey, and that is what is happening. Gentlemen and ladies, situation is getting out of hand, and that is a reality. And our friends should not take that great image they have for granted. It's getting out of hand. By January next year, the youth will begin to ask about the jobs. At that point, it's no more about going to say this or that. It's not about the song and it's not about anything again. You can't continue to blame the Akufo-Addo government anymore. They will need the deliverables. Today, if you are a political opponent and you are not careful, you get arrested for criticizing the government. They say causing fear and panic. These are the things that politicians take for granted when they get power. And in the end, before they realize it's too late to recover. Yesterday I was sat in court. I brought the ruling of the judge. I was the lead counsel for Abronia. And because we are in an academic environment, though you are not lawyers, I want you to just Google after here the case of Tagore versus the Republic. It's a court of appeal decision. Tagore. It was Dr. Ayeni who did that case on appeal, where the Court of Appeal said that the fact that a case gains notoriety in public space, it doesn't whittle down the requirement to meet all the ingredients to be proven to find the person guilty. And that the prosecution must lead evidence. So you hear of a matter, it's been discussed on social media, and we think it's sufficient, the person is guilty. Tagore was freed by the Court of Appeal on those cocaine-related charges because the Court of Appeal felt that prosecution could not do a good job. So if somebody is alleged to have committed an offense, what the police is supposed to do is to have all the patience to investigate and follow due process. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes we get impatient, but the best way to sustain democracy is to ensure that institutions work, and they work for the good of all. So yesterday, a judge receives Abonye in his court. Earlier in the week, the police go to him. The prosecutor says to the judge, I want you to remand him till Friday. Then he also granted. Yesterday we were in court. This is what the judge said. Listen to him. He's a judge. Listen to him. He says, quote, accused person before the court is facing 2 charges of misdemeanor. Misdemeanor is a lesser offense, an offense that means nothing, really. If you are convicted, it's a fine. Then you go home. This is important. He said, however, in this instant case, the court will not look at only the charges being misdemeanor, but will extend it to the position of the IGP to the country. That is the head of the police service. The words which came from the accused person is likely to put the security of the nation into disrepute. Then he goes further to worsen the matter. He says, it is always said that all persons are equal are equal persons, but in practice, it is not so. Then he quotes George Orwell's satire, The Animal Farm. One of the commandments is that all men are equal, but some are equal than others. Translated into this case, all men are equal, but some are more equal than others. This is what the judge said. To remand Abronye into custody again. If you are a judge and you're remanding somebody into custody, what you are basically saying is that if the person is granted bail, he may not come to court for trial, or he would interfere in the investigation. The judge did not say this in his ruling. He says that the matter involves IGP. And all men are not the same. So if you are involved in a matter with somebody who is considered a big person in society, you go to jail. Such a dangerous precedent. If we don't talk about it, where would be our democracy? And ladies and gentlemen, I am privileged to have been part of ECOWAS Parliament. I have roamed through the sub-region. Ghana stands tall, but we can make it better.
Anti abusua Afenyo Markins ne nkomo a yekofa baaye no aha ene edibesi utie ni nkomo na futuo ene odema NDC amanyoko no ewo mu se ne oka no bi ho no mu a enhyeda enye ensisusu ye papa but ebi susu ha wo se efa ni nyina ne sen ni nyina ne se abusua political party bia oba power from the one oba power no obe start etia nkrofo bi nan so saa ohun be ye hin kakra amanfo because especially NDC amanyuku ba bi ya bigina NDC for so mo ye reset de na chese ade no ba bi a achia ne ba bi amonchem ne ho ade nyina no obe straight no obe sisi no be reset enti e ban sa nkrofo bibre hu beka demolitions be bromba ye enjuma bi wo hono a ye be yi nkrofo bi afiri hono apam nkrofo bi di nkrofo bi akwehye ba bi ni nyina e be create problems chese nkrofo bi wo ye be chiche omo ne sa nyoma ni nyina e be create problems barabushua for ne kase pa ni na me ne Afenyo Markins nya adwen ne say look emra so dia boni na sembra so mu a emra no ene ubidi me de me mpese me hu se NDC for beye ene se ebia omo beye onyoma wo akaka bensem so ya ye kasa omuntie na omu bedi Ghana sika in fact se Ghana for o hwe na wo di Ghana sika ye Ghana for ho adwuma na mu mpinifo mu da ya no ya hu se as afi mu live extravagant lifestyle mu live luxurious lifestyle like mu di sika mu chese mu chere sika amanfoɔ brɛ na mo no mu kyerɛ sika mo kyerɛ sɛ yɛ ɛsɛ deɛ mo amɛn mofu ayɛ adehwedehwee no mbɛtena TV so a na mo hu mo tiri akokwa na mo ano ayɛ sɔkye mofu ayɛ adehwedehwee mo abobɔ ties atare na ɛno deɛ ɛba ne saa in fact Ghana for bubefu mu but abusuafoɔ sɛ Ghana o start say o yɛ ɔma kwan o de nsuo kɔ baabi nsuo ni o make sure say baabi electricity ni o de kɔ hɔnom kyɛ sɛ o siesie ɔman no kyɛ sɛ o build adịghị na Ghana for bɛka sɛ ye too because obi ayɛ bɔne no wakɔkye no abrɔ nyɛ di nkwasi asɛm nti wakye ne nti anti no yɛbu dabi ye hia ne sɛ one mo nyɛ corrupt sisi a make say Ghana for nyina yɛ aware say in the history of Ghana from 1992 aban bia maya wadi bɛyɛ 8 months a onya scandal enka sambe scandals a aba ewo eye system no enka enye scandal ketwa ba me no mo ka say NDC for ba ye omatimi ahye omo so abusuafo omatimi ahye omo so ama ba bia ya bedru up till now there is no single scandal bia yet media to NDC for so say omako wies ka say omako yesu ba bi ebinsiye what I say ebinsiye ebi maaye eno na Ghana for hwehwe say bedru be 1 year na scandal ba kokura maaye bedru be 2 years na yenya scandal bi say minister bi akọ wiaska minister bi sika akofa ne nsase ama sika kese twitwire die bi akofa na abusua sa nyoma we to asoa kodi 2 years 3 years na make say yesisi a hospitals yesisi a kwan yesisi schools ye bie chip compounds polyclinics ye hwe kriti like ye interchanges other towns ye ensure electricity ye fixing ye ni ho ade ye ma economy na ay stable ene ade enche ma nkukrum e ma obekono ya to nyomam ade be che obekọ ya to nyomam next week obekọ ya to nyomam na economy na de ay deja abusua se nyoma ekono slowly nyoma kono se de wo se ekọ na obi ha nye krono sem na ye nkasa wa abufuo so nkyere Ghana for mfa say disrespect the Ghanaian people na you make sure say you pay ye dear what say ye na you two anamon papa abusia why na catcher will say a banasa you beat me I lose election nobody we can never lose election abusia obidi boni ayen channel udim kwasi asema ayen channel we are resetting the state first announce the country and boni bi obi abeye no was say ye twe naso enti Afenyo Markins ne nsam na woka de ba bi no menene ya adwe ba bi so menene nya adwe abusua wa wadi boni bi aye nchew obro nya dia wo kan abusuafo o say misdemeanor enye case I was say ye chi obi tum ne fa enya no kre o ma pen so o mo chi kanawu atumu for misdemeanor case abranti ya oko accuse say IGP asheda recruit police for bi abeshemu de omo abe regi election ye jail no for 4 years ye jail no NPP apenso mu jail no for 4 years and misdemeanor case but he jailing for 4 years until my bobi ameto sebio bola bi anase mfuturu bi nguye ni so na da ma ye mfili se ya chi obi abronya anase obi di nkwasi asem na emfa mra kwan so eni hu kwan se ye chi no media wa obi di bone obi di nkwasi asem obi nka asem man criticize aban wo ho kwan se o criticize aban sa aban di nkwasi asem bi na wo mpa utimi di aban atem so wa jimi pa mu ni mu nyansa mo ye mo ana adwen ne mo ye emfa ne kwan obi amfa ho na mom sa oba na oba meki say make can say oba threaten nipa life ye be kum ye be twauti ye be hwiase da gu ho ye be tetaw ne abo ye be ye say na be and de okoka sa ye chew ye nchew ne ye ntwewaso because I know the Ghana mra unyu kwan say threaten obi life who threaten will be life near chewa a criminal, even ordinary person crowd na more now threaten a life. You can be jailed. What am I say? You can be jailed. Let alone ubia a buying and appointing no ye jumama band ya jumama yin now contracting say unyana obi kunu unyana obi trinity unyana obe attacking there be another dear we a crime and such people we should arrest them, prosecute them and jail them. We should convict them and like young convict you in jail you. Simple as that. Me and my women intimidate here and share so say and now yes and yet and now yes bema a man for a time and I know the no cre abusha aha a pen dream TV who have been chiribi a message so the better comment section no ase na afi so no wa share video no ama for no like video no so e dey am pen dream TV yes Adam yopo
Dedi kama mamena Pendulum TV ase. Na so far so good. Say open online portal e wo Ghana. Ah nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, Pendulum TV.